Hello and welcome to Sam's Cinema. Today I'm going to be taking you through the plot of the Doctor Who episode, Blink. Sally Sparrow breaks into the abandoned house called the Wester Drumlins to take photos. While exploring the forgotten building, she notices some of the wallpaper hanging off with text underneath. She pulls it back, revealing a warning, "Beware the weeping angel." Then it tells it a duck and she sees her name. She ducks and an object misses her head. She looks to see what threw it at her and there's nothing, except a statue of an angel. The note on the wall is signed, "Love from the Doctor." Sally goes to her friend Catherine's house to tell her what she saw. On all the TVs, there's a man telling us about the dangers of blinking. It's Catherine's brother that's watching them. Sally wakes up Catherine and tells her about what she experienced. So the next day the pair go back to the house to investigate. They see the Weeping Angel statue and Sally thinks it's moved closer to the house than it was yesterday. As they're pondering the mystery, someone rings the doorbell and it freaks both of them out because it's an abandoned house. Sally goes to open it while Catherine hangs back, scared. At the door, there's a man who specifically asks for a woman by the name of Sally Sparrow. Sally's confused by this, asking him how he knew she would be there. Meanwhile, Catherine still hangs back, but she's facing away from the Weeping Angel. The man gives Sally a letter addressed to her. She asks who the letter's from, and he tells her it's from his grandmother, who he made a promise to deliver this letter to this address on this day at this exact time. He says his grandmother's name was Kathy Nightingale. Sally calls for her friend Catherine, but there's a bang of a door, and there's no response. Sally thinks it's all some kind of joke and goes to get Catherine, but she's vanished. She opens the envelope, and in it there's a letter with pictures. The letter's from Catherine saying that she was sent back to 1920s Hull. Didn't know why, but she married and lived a long and happy life. The lad at the door is her grandson. Sally can't believe it, so runs around to find Catherine, because she still thinks it's some sort of joke, and going upstairs she discovers that there's 3 more weeping angels inhabiting the house. One of the angels holds a key. Intrigued by this key, Sally takes it. Just then the grandson leaves. Sally rushes to get the letter off him, near missing the angel's touch. She goes to visit a friend's grave, perplexed by what's just happened. Unknowingly, she's followed by an angel. She goes to tell Catherine's brother Lawrence of her disappearance. Her brother works in a DVD shop, and on the screen again is the same man as before, talking half a conversation. She tells him Catherine loves him and then asks about the man on the TV. He tells her he's an Easter egg on 17 specific unrelated DVDs, and he calls himself the Doctor. And nobody knows how he got there, not even the manufacturers of the DVDs themselves. Sally begins watching the man on the screen and makes a comment about his sentence getting away from him, and he replies saying he agrees. She says it's weird because it's like, "You can hear me," and the man replies, "Well, I can hear you." Sally's now truly freaked out, and Lawrence hands Sally a list of the 17 DVDs the Doctor guy is on. But Sally leaves the building and goes to the police about the situation. While waiting, she notices 2 weeping angels standing outside the church across the road from the police building. She blinks and they're gone. She thinks she's going crazy, but she can't see that they're just outside her building. She meets Detective Inspector Billy Shipton, who tells her he investigates Wester Drumlins. He shows her that over the last few months, many cars turn up empty at that house, some of them with their engines still running. Their owners vanished. The strangest of them all is a police box, but they can't get inside because there's no key. Billy then asks Sally for a phone number, as he thinks she's hot. She gives him a number and then leaves. Billy hangs back watching her leave. As soon as he turns around, there's 4 angels now standing around the police box. He walks over to them to investigate. He gets in close watching one, and then he blinks. Sally leaves the police station and then realises the key she found could fit the police box, so she runs back, and when she gets there, the box is gone. The doors are open, and Billy has vanished. Billy has been sent back to 1969. He's met by a man who calls himself the Doctor. The Doctor explains that Billy has been touched by an angel. He says the race of the weeping angels is mysterious, the creatures of the abstract. They zap you into the past and feed off your potential energy, all the days you might have lived and all the things you might have done. Billy's confused by the Doctor, and the Doctor says normally he'd give him a lift back in his time machine, but it's been nicked, and he needs Billy to take a message to Sally Sparrow, and it's going to take him a long time. Back in the present, Sally gets a phone call off Billy, and when she arrives to see him, he's a dying old man. For her, it's been 5 minutes. For Billy, it's been years. Billy explains that he couldn't seek Sally out before this moment, otherwise it would have torn a hole in the fabric of space and time and destroyed 2/3 of the universe. He says a man called the Doctor told him to deliver her a message. She asks him what the message was, and he tells her the message was, "Look at the list." The list of the 17 DVDs. He asks her if she's noticed what the DVDs have in common, but Sally doesn't. Billy tells her that this is his last night alive, so Sally stays with him. In the morning, Sally has an epiphany. She figures out what the DVDs have in common. They're all the DVDs that she owns. The message was meant for her. She calls Lawrence and tells him to meet her at Wester Drumlins and bring a DVD. They watch the DVD in full from the beginning. She says, "The doctor," and he replies, "Yes." Sally thinks he can hear them again, but Lawrence tells her that he always says that because Lawrence has a transcript of everything the doctor says. To prove this, he starts reading off what the doctor's going to say, and the doctor replies, "Are you going to read the whole thing?" Sally asks who he is, and he replies saying he's a time traveller and he's stuck in 1969. Lawrence begins writing down the conversation, and the doctor tells Sally that he can't exactly hear her, but he knows everything that she's going to say. She asks, "How is that possible?" and he tells her, "Look to your left." And that's where Lawrence is writing down the complete transcript of their conversation. The doctor tells her he's got a copy of the finished transcript and he's a time traveller. He got it in the future. Sally tells Lawrence to look at the statue. The doctor tells her he needs her to send his box back to him because it's full of time energy and the angels have it and they can feast on it, but the damage they could do could switch off the sun. She asks how can she send the time machine back to him, but that's the end of the video. Then Sally notices that Lawrence isn't looking at the statue, and neither is she. It came for them. Sally tells Lawrence to stay here. She's going to find a way out. Whatever he does, don't blink. The angels have locked them in and Sally can't get out. She thinks it's because she has the key to the TARDIS. Lawrence tells her to give him the key. He becomes scared that an angel from upstairs might come from behind him, so he has no choice. He has to quickly look behind him. In an instant, the angel's closer to him. Sally tells him there might be a way out through the cellar, so they edge towards it. When they get down there, all the other angels are in there. They keep watching the statues as they edge closer to the phone box. The angels begin switching out the lights. They run towards the TARDIS to try and open it. She can't find the lock. The angels are coming. They get into the TARDIS just in time. The TARDIS detects the disc in Lawrence's pocket. It's a control disc which will take the TARDIS away. The angels try to get into the TARDIS, but Lawrence puts in the disc. The TARDIS begins to take off, but it materialises away from them, leaving them behind. But it was a trick. The doctor tricked the angels into looking at each other. Now they'll never move again. 1 year in the future, Sally puts all the information about the experience together. She still doesn't know where the doctor got the transcript from. Lawrence and Sally now run the DVD shop together. Out the window though, Sally spots the doctor and Martha, so she runs out and stops him and says, "Doctor!" but he doesn't recognise her. She then realises that because he's a time traveller, he might not have met her yet. He needs to rush as an alien thing he needs to take care of, so she gives him the pack of information, telling him one day he's going to get stranded in 1969 and he'll need this. She tells him goodbye and takes Lawrence's hand. It's a happy ending. Or is it? Any statue could be a weeping angel. It ends on a warning. Don't turn your back, don't look away, and don't blink. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I hope to see you again soon.